A warm welcome to everyone. My name is Himika and I represent ViewSonic India. I welcome you all in today's meet. It's a pleasure to connect with GEG educators and other educators out there. As trainers, we are constantly looking forward to develop our skills so that we can deliver best to our students. And I think in today's time, when the world is talking about hybrid learning, we all as teachers have been evolving and have been trying our best to learn the technology today so that we can deliver the best of the content and learning experience to our students. So I here take pleasure to welcome GEG teams of Ahmedabad and Pune, head by Dr. Vishal Baria and Reshma ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. And we also have their team who has joined us today who would love to talk about the interactivity of a panel called MyViewBoard. So MyViewBoard is a panel. It's a software that can be installed in any platform, be it the interactive panel, your desktop, your laptop, or mobile phone. And it also helps the teachers and educators to create content and deliver content across the students. Now, here, I think panel like this or technology like this has broke all the barriers of teaching because now we have been into the hybrid learning models. I have Reshma ma'am who have joined us today from US who is helping us out today. So I think the geographical barriers have been broken thanks to the technology these days, and the way that the technology has been transformed, or the way teachers have taken the initiative, educators have taken the initiative to deliver best to the students is commendable. Thank you so much, teachers, for taking out time for this session. So now, Reshma ma'am, Dr. Vishal Varia, along with their team would like to discuss with us how we can use this amazing panel called MyViewBoard to train our students different subjects. So for instance, today the topic of discussion is maths and science. Let us see from the experts themselves how they would like to use this software to make their sessions engaging. Over to you, teachers.
Thank you, Hamika. Welcome one and all for today's session. This is Dr. Vishal Varia, leader for GG Ahmedabad, and I'm joined by Reshma, leader from GG Pune. She is from California. And we are all here to share with you another great tool that we have come across, that is MyViewBoard. And we are so fascinated to use this tool in a classroom, in a virtual classroom, and it's really engaging. So, Reshma, what would you say for MyViewBoard?
Hello, and first of all, welcome to all the teachers who are joining us today, and my team GEGAP, who is back in my country. So just like Hemika said, the online and the virtual learning has broken all the barriers of connectivity amongst us. And now when we talk about teaching and learning, looking into the way education system is going further, I think having a virtual whiteboard that can help us deliver all sorts of lessons that we were able to do in the classroom, as well as go a step beyond and do things that were not possible in person. So any student who is not in the classroom and still wants to learn, a teacher has a flexibility to have a virtual whiteboard that can deliver exactly the lesson that we do in the classroom. So I'm excited. I tried a few things. I'm a math educator myself, and I was excited to see a lot of different things that MyViewBoard offers that can help my students and change the way I teach some of the topics. So I'll be discussing about math, and so I'm excited to begin the session.
So we are really happy to see all the educators joining from different parts of the world. We have educators joining from Philippines, from US, from Brazil, from Malaysia, from India, of course, major educators from India. And believe me, this session is not going to be just a one-way session. It's going to be a very engaging session. We have got some very good engagement activities for you all today. We have Dipti ma'am and Payal ma'am from GG Ahmedabad who are going to take us with some engaging activities right now. So Dipti ma'am and Payal ma'am, let us go with the activity.
Hello everyone, welcome to all this session, and we are here for engaging activity, or we can say the warm-up activity, because the day is going down and we are so tired. So let's get some energized. I just share my screen. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so today we are come up with the musical warm-up activity, and in this activity you have to guess the song that is related to any topic. So first is a song that related to very famous festival of India. It is sang by the famous actor, and the movie is based on the love triangle of the real life couple. So anyone can guess this? You can type the answer in the chat box also, or you can speak out. I can give you one more hint. It's not a new movie.
Amit sir has got something to suggest.
Silsila movie. When I had this movie when I was
Amitabh and Rekha, Rang Barse.
Yes, very well done. Yes.
Amit sir is
Great.
good with math. Amit sir is good with movies.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And the next one is now next song is a Picturized on the Mahmood and Helen. And this movie is a suspense thriller movie, and there is a kind of the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Any guesses?
Black Lives Matter.
Oh, हम काले हैं तो क्या हुआ है?
Yes, yes, exactly. हम काले हैं तो क्या हुआ दिल वाले. It's a hashtag.
Great. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think I had some network issues. I skipped the music. Okay. Next is a kind of the song that we translate into the English.
Okay, I know this. I think it's Dal Gaya
Even
Dil
I
Wo
know.
Besha.
सूरज हुआ
No,
मध्यम
no.
No,
Yes,
सूरज हुआ
Suraj
मध्यम
hua madhyam.
चांद चलने
the
लगा
sky is melting.
Yes.
I think as
मैं
a
ठहरा रहा
I
जमी
just
चलने
read the
Tabhi
लगी
first line.
chalne lagi. Yes. I'm stopped. The land started walking.
Okay.
Good one.
Come to the next one. I think today my network is slow. Okay. Now next song is, I just play the tune of the song and you just have to guess which song is this.
नजर ही मिलते ही नजरों से नजरों को चुराए.
I think this one is
This
famous.
is the recent Pushpa one.
I think Reshma ma'am or all the non-Indian person not, but it is a trend of the Indians.
Oh, I have watched the whole 3.5
Every
hours.
children, every teenagers, every adults are starting doing this. It's
I watch every movie here, so don't worry.
Very catchy. Very catchy. Yes. Good activity.
And again, this is a trend.
Okay.
Kacha
You
Badam.
guys-
Kacha
Kacha
badam.
Badam.
Yes,
It's Kacha Badam.
exactly. Yes, exactly. It's a Kacha Badam.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. That's it. That's it
So
for
much,
today.
ma'am. That
Hope
was
you are
really a
enjoying
great
and energized.
energizer. Reshma ma'am, you can share now.
Okay, I'm hoping that everybody can see the MyView board from my side. Excellent.
Yes, ma'am.
My board is pretty empty because everything that is there is inside all these tiny tools that you see on your right and left at the bottom. So I will not go much detail into each one of them. Some of them are pretty basic, like writing the text, filling the color in which you also have the shapes option, which are very useful for elementary and middle school students. We'll talk about a few of them in a bit. Then we have a pen, where you can click and you can change the opacity of the pen, as well as you can change the size of your pen or pencil that you are using. You can also change the color of the pen that you want to use. Later, we have the select tool. We have embedded browser inside it, in which there are amazing websites that are already embedded. I'll go into it real soon. But the most important and exciting thing for my math teaching that I found was this magic box on the left. So you'll see there is a nice magic box. When you click on that, it opens up a bunch of things for you. The first one is sticky note, and the second one takes you to the tools, the math tools that I'm going to show you today. So when you click on these math tools, you'll see a clock, there is a timer, there is a ruler, all the geometry instruments, a built-in calculator, along with a coordinate plane, a compass, and rest of the things. So the first thing that I wanted to show you, and which has been a big problem for most of us math educators, is typing equations online. So using the script that we really want to use, for example, we want to write 2x squared plus 3x plus 1. Now typing this out with a hyperscript and writing the square and the chemical formulas has been really difficult. And this is the place where you can write with your hand. So I'm just using my stylus and writing it. You see, it is converted into the math equation. When you click on insert button, it automatically inserts the equation right into your math whiteboard. So I'm calling it math whiteboard because I'm doing math here right now. Now, you have a chance to change the size. You have a chance to do other things along with this, like you can add an image here, you can change the color, you can crop the equation that you made, and so on. Let us try to add some other equation into it. So let's try to do, a lot of us educators are always worried again about the trigonometric functions that we use. So it did not take it because my eye was not very clear. So let me write it again. So if I have to say sine square theta over 2 cos theta. Now I realize that sometimes it does not take the exact thing, but you have a chance always to delete it, to erase it and rewrite the equation that you would like. You can clear it and move on to the next equation. So this is one of the very important thing that I found very clear, that you don't really need to have any kind of add-ons. It's right inside your whiteboard. So whenever you want, you can just use and clear it. So I'm just going to use my eraser, clear the text that I had, and I'm going to show you another tool inside the white box. The next thing that I wanted to show you is construction. So I was working on my construction chapters just a few weeks back, and I used a couple of outside websites to show my students constructions online. I wanted to also record my construction so that I can create a digital book, which I can add into my classroom so that my students can go back and visit how to do constructions. So this is one of the most beautiful thing that I came across, is having construction tools that are rightly available onto your whiteboard. Then, as I said, I can record. So there is an integrated webcam. There is a recording feature built in. So that probably Hemika will tell us later. So while we are teaching, we can easily record our short lessons and download them into our browser or just put them into our Google Classroom. MyView Board is integrated with Google Drive and Google Classroom. So you can directly upload all the PDFs that you have. You can download the videos and post it back into your Drive. So I used a ruler. You must have seen I changed the size of the ruler. So depending upon what grade level you are teaching, what number you need, you can change the size of the ruler. You can also switch, so you don't need to rotate the ruler 360 degrees. You can just click on this up and down arrow and just change into inches to centimeters and whatever you like. So I'm just going to show a quick small construction of drawing an angle using a straight edge and a compass. So I use the ruler. As soon as you use a ruler, use a pen tool, you can change the opacity. And wherever you draw, it creates a straight line. So you must have seen that I just clicked on this and here is my straight line that is drawn. Now I want to use my compass. So I'm just going to pick up my compass tool. I'm going to drag it and put the point right where I want it. Now all my math educators would know how difficult it is for students to visualize. Last year I used to show them on my screen, this is a compass, open it, hold it here. So now when I used this in my classroom, my students were following exact directions that I was giving because they could see what is happening and what exactly to do. When you have to draw something, you need to pick the pencil and just rotate it. So I created an arc right there. I'm going to pick up my compass again and put it right where I want the next arc to be. Once you fix that position, you click on the pencil again and then rotate. I'm done with my use of compass. I can just remove it, use the ruler again. Now there is a possibility that you can rotate the ruler the way you want. So the two endpoints, you can rotate it, pick it up, put it where you like, and then use your pen again to complete your construction. So you can be more precise. I'm not very precise because these endpoints did not meet, which as a teacher is not very good for us and telling students, but you can be very precise when you teach that you try to match exact arrows and you connect both of them. So this is one of the tools. If you're done with the tool, you can just click on the cross and it disappears and goes back into our magic box. Going further, I would like you to show you something more interesting. Now, similarly, tell me in the chat, how many of our math educators or even students, teachers find probability one of the hardest subject to teach? So just let me know in the chat if probability has been very easy for you, hard. It's always been very hard for me actually. Yeah, a lot of teachers will say it is not hard for teachers to teach, but it is hard for students to imagine what is happening. Because when we just tell them roll 2 dice and find out the probability of getting a sum of more than 6, right? Every time there is no way that a child will have a dice with them. Every time you cannot roll a dice in the classroom so that all of your 30 students can come and see. So I love this idea of having a dice built within this magic box. So when you have a dice, so I went to the magic box, I clicked on the dice icon and I clicked on it. It's a pair dice, which is a pair 6-sided figure with exact 1 to 6 dots on each side. So when you click on this, it makes sense that every time I roll a dice, there is a probability of getting a specific number out of how many possibilities. So you can talk and engage students into what do you see? What is the maximum number you can get? What are the different numbers you can think of getting on a given dice? And you keep rolling them to a point where they can start imagining things. I also tried this activity by giving them a log. So we did like 20 rolls in the class. Every student listed what the answer was. And then we came up with a specific combination of answers and we made a graph out of it actually. So this further can even lead to things like statistics, which is a lot of data and students try to identify what exactly is going beyond this activity. So now if you need a couple of more dice, there are questions where they say rolling a 2 dice and getting a sum of odd numbers, even numbers. Use the same thing, roll 2 dice in front of them. Well, if you have a very enthusiastic class, you can just change the color to get some excitement. And then you can still move on with a little more settings. So this is about math. You can keep adding dice. You can keep engaging students or asking them more and more questions based on what you are teaching them. In our school, or my colleagues, they used this dice basically with the elementary students also. Because every time having math facts learned, like addition, subtractions, and other things, they just asked, they rolled the dice and said, what is the sum? Again, they rolled the dice and said, okay, who can tell me the sum and difference, product, division? So a lot of possibilities that can be done using a set of dice. If you click on this settings icon, there is an option that is called as letters. Now at the bottom you'll see A, and that is fun too. Now you have letters that are rolling in front of you. So as though I'm teaching, I'm showing you math, but imagine if I was an English teacher, I would use this dice and say, okay, make words, 3-letter words out of this, or use these vowels and make words out of it. Start your sentence using these letters. So it's up to the teacher what possibilities she can do to engage the creative mind inside their students. Right? Now going back to the settings, the most exciting thing, and I'm sure everybody will love it, is the tool, the tool here. So जो हम लोग हिंदी में पाना कहते हैं, right? So you can fix things with this, you can change things. So when you click on this, you can actually change the images that are inside here. So I'm just going to show you a pretty easy and fun thing that we can do is going back to the toolbox, and I'm just going to search an image. So I'm just going to use a basic, what I saw is a emoji. So daily check-in that you would say. Now, if I have to ask students, how are you feeling today? And you start picking out different types of emojis, and you give your students a chance to identify their feelings. It's a great activity starter, just like Payal did with us, like having to know what the student is feeling just by utilizing the board that you are working on. Now, I'm just picking random images to start with. As a math educator, I tried using this as a review exercise. So instead of emojis, I actually used 3-dimensional figures. So what I did was, we were doing the chapter of volume. So I did was that I picked all different types of volumes, because if you just give a whole assignment to our students, they are not really very happy to work those examples. But if you make it fun, it works wonders. So I picked different 3 images, and I said, okay, we are going to roll a dice. Whatever comes up, that is the volume and surface area you're going to find out. And you will not believe, my students still did like hundreds of practice sessions on those particular rolling dice. I used 2 dices to be able to give more opportunity to the students to be able to combine those 2 3-dimensional shapes. So if you get a cone in one of the dice and you get a cylinder in one of the dice, I said, okay, put them together and find the volume, the total volume. So it's a great way for them to visualize what math is in real life. So I just picked the images. You must have seen I was just picking them and dragging them onto my dice. Now the images that are extra, I don't need. I selected all of them, and you get a trash option so you can clear your board. Let's go back and see how do they look. So click on the dice and tell me, how do you feel? Pick a dice. So isn't it exciting? Like, you can change the image, you can come up with the ideas that you want to utilize in your math classroom. So you can also change the background. You can make it opaque so that you don't have anything behind, but you just have your dice rolling. So these are the 2 important things, 3 things rather, that I loved about the math whiteboard. Obviously, there is a graph paper that is always needed to show how the graph is. There is a compass if you are teaching them directions. So any level of grade level that you are in, right, east, west, north, south, you're teaching them, you're helping them find coordinates of those points. So all of these things can be done depending upon what the teacher is visualizing. last thing that I wanted to show you is this toolbox at the bottom. So when I see, so because I picked the color last time, so it's showing me color, but otherwise it usually shows as a square. There is a 3D object option right here. So like I was talking about my students working on 3D objects. Let me check.
Ma'am, it won't be a drag and drop. You just have to draw it on the screen. Just scroll it on the screen and it would appear.
I think it is white in color. Is it? Oh, it's white color. That is why it's
yeah.
not showing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So let's say I'm drawing a cube. So once you draw the cube, you have a cone. You have the object right there, and then you can use your pen feature and talk to them about the slant height. You can talk to them about the height of the cone, and then you can talk to them about the radius and other things. So quite a great flexibility, I feel, that the objects are embedded right there. You also have a chance to actually change the color of the objects depending upon how you want to shade it. You have the ability to fill in the color based upon what area of that object you're talking about. So let's say I'm talking about two rectangular prisms kept next to each other. So showing them, and you can change the direction, you can rotate them, and you can combine objects to give them more flexibility in their learning and understanding. So a lot of different features. So something like this, I made it solid. So now you can talk about the volume of it and so on. So for math, this is what excited me, and I'm going to try using most of them into my classroom. I already started using few of them just for trial. My students were pretty excited, and it made my work really easy, because instead of finding PDFs, instead of finding images and then dragging and dropping them, this made it pretty easy. So that's all from my side for showing math. There is still one last thing, sorry. When I was talking about the embedded browser, because I used it, I really want to show our educators what is there. How many of the math educators go to Khan Academy, Desmos, School Math, CK12? So you see all these apps, which I usually have it in my tab, because if I'm teaching them quadratic equations, we were talking, my class was doing parabolas. So I always make them draw it, and then we check on Desmos. So having these flexibility right within your whiteboard is absolutely amazing. So you can just type the equation and it creates a graph for you. So there is no need to switch screens, switch the boards, and so on. So thank you so much. Please feel free to ask questions. Yes, Amit sir, we always refer to Desmos. And Desmos gives pretty good activities as well. And it's right there inside. Somebody's asking, can we have images in the dice instead of numbers? Yes, we just did that. I know teachers will love to try this out. Can we use 2 dices simultaneously? Yes, we did 2, 3, 4. You can add and delete. So a lot of flexibility in here. And feel free to keep asking questions and we'll try to answer. Thank you, Amika.
And it was really interesting. Yeah, it was really interesting to learn all the different tools that you showed to us. And I think it's a never-ending story. It's just keep on learning for all the educators. There are a lot of things you have mixed up. We have learned so many things in different kind of tools. But what we just saw in this particular tool, MyViewBoard, is something, a combination of all those tools into one application. That's MyViewBoard. And it's really a very interesting way. And I think the most important and most best part, the last thing that you just showed, was integrating the Chrome into the whiteboard. That's the ViewBoard. So everything is inside that application. You just don't have to switch on to the window. It's already there inside. Really brilliant.
Yes.
Great.
And
Thanks.
I would sincerely like to thank Reshma ma'am. While ma'am was presenting it, I was wondering if I could have learned in this format when I was a child. I think my maths would have been better, or I would have taken more interest in math. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I
always
feel you
had
know
this
this. Yeah.
idea with numbers, but the way ma'am engaged me with the pictures and all that stuff as a learner also, even at this age, I was finding it very interesting. So I'm sure for students out there who probably have that maths phobia, or the ones who are really looking forward for such such dimension learning, 360-degree learning, I think it's a great way to learn and explore. Thank you so much, Reshma ma'am.
Always
So
welcome. Math is my favorite subject and I can talk for hours, but we are going to quickly give chance to Deepti ma'am and
yes.
we'll see how she uses it for her math, science lessons.
Yes, yes,
Thank
thank you.
Hamika.
So let's hear it from Deepti ma'am, how ma'am uses MyViewBoard to ensure that her science sessions are taken care of.
Okay, okay. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay. So this is my view board. Okay. Is my screen visible? Can anyone please show me thumb? Okay, okay, okay. So this is my view board. I just prepared it just few hours ago. Okay. So here my first canvas, and I want to show or teach my students the classification of element. Okay. And for classification of element, all students get to know about periodic table, and then I add some videos and blank periodic table and some of kind of exercise with the physical features of elements or chemical features of elements, and embedded Chrome browser I used, and so on. So I just want to show you how can you make your whiteboard more and more interesting. Okay. So for that, if I want to teach my students chemistry related chapters. So for that, I just click on background management. Your left hand side corner, there is a small icon for background management. So click on that particular icon and you will find that this type of background is ready-made available in MyViewBoard. You can choose them. You can choose any type of color. You can see here gradient colors are also available. You can choose them. You can choose image also, and you will go with MyViewBoard originals. You will find subject wise template. You can see that I click on that down arrow and you will find the subjects: arts and humanity, geography, grids, health, holidays, math, organizer, and science. I want science. Okay. So these are the ready-made template, or you can say canvas. And now I want to teach elements. Okay, so I like any of chemistry type of that canvas, so I will go for, yes, this one. Okay, and when you click on that particular canvas, now that three what can say syntax pop up, and if you want to apply this for all page or only for this page or cancel, I want this only for this page. Okay, so you will see I just that my canvas is ready. Okay, now I want to add title, and title is classification of elements. So I just click on that particular bar, that T button, and click on blank area, and I make it bold, and I can also change the font. Okay, so I want some dark, okay, this one, impact. Okay, and I will give title classy, classification of elements. Okay, now this is my title. Now I want something about element. Okay, so for that I will go that embedded browser, click on that, and you can see you if you want to take a clip, you can use these clips, and original you can use from original. I want some text about elements. So here I type elements, okay, and go for search. Okay, now I open this Wikipedia and I want this text. Okay, so I just select this text up to this nuclei, up to nuclei. I just copy and paste it here. Okay. So I just break this sentence into smaller part. Okay, and you will find that your text about element or what is element is ready. Now okay, now I don't want to read this, means I am continuously speaking for 6 hours or for 6 lecture and I don't want to speak. So for that MyViewBoard give this option और अपॉर्चुनिटी और बून XYZ कुछ भी समझ लो, ये आपके लिए एक क्या बोलते हैं उसको, बून को क्या बोलते हैं, ओके आशीर्वाद, ओके हाँ आशीर्वाद है, आप समझ लो. अभी I just want select this text and I click on this particular book icon and you can see the magic. Okay, मुझे बोलना नहीं है, सब कुछ यही करेगा. Just listen. Can you hear? Anyone, please give me thumb.
Ma'am, it's little slow, so I think it's not clicked on play yet. I think there is a latch of like 2 seconds or something.
Can you hear this?
Ma'am, please share the sound of this from the main bar. Share the sound, ma'am.
Okay. Now, may I continue, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay.
So ideally, this
don't
entire
want
text will
to,
be translated into speech.
Speech in English. If you are regional teacher, okay, so you can translate this text into regional language also. So for that, I just click on this icon and I choose language that is my mother tongue, Gujarati. Okay, and for that I want to document translation on, so I just click on this button and document translation is on, and now I play. Okay, so this is the one of the best feature. If in any language you have content, you will translate in your particular language you want to teach the students. Okay, now this is my first page. Now I want to teach element in periodic table. Okay, so I go for second page and for that just click on this plus icon. Okay, now further I go to this background and again my ViewBoard original and I will go for periodic table. My ViewBoard give also background, periodic table as a background. Okay, so I will go there. Yes, this one and this page. Okay, so you can see now my periodic table is as a background. Now I want to teach my students, so I just click this marker and I teach them. This is first group, this is second group, and this is 13th group, this is 14th group. All periodic table has totally 18 group. Okay, so I just teach my student with this grouping that this element is lithium, first group in sodium, and potassium and rubidium and cesium and francium. So you can teach with this background whole periodic table. Okay, and you can see here above of the periodic table there are that boxes with different color, that indicates that particular element is what. Okay, so if you find that green color boxes, they are reactive non-metal, and you will find in group 1 that is alkali metal, so on. You will, I just want to say that by this ready-made periodic table background, you will teach student very efficiently and effectively. Okay, you will find this atomic number, atomic mass, symbol and name, and etc. Okay, now I want that my student remember this periodic table. Okay, so for that I just go for another background for one page, and I want to show them how want to add particular video of periodic song, periodic table song in this background. So I just click on box, magic box, go to YouTube, and I just type periodic table song. Okay, and click, and you will find the different periodic table. I just select it and drag to my canvas, and you will find the periodic table song. Okay. Now, whenever okay, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, and fluorine, and neon, and sodium. Okay, whenever I go to YouTube, okay, and that particular, in that particular video I find something interesting, I just screenshot that particular portion. Okay, for that I installed Chrome from Chrome web browser, that is screenshot extension. Okay, in this case, in MyViewBoard, the MyViewBoard gives us facility to screenshot that particular picture. Okay, जो यहाँ पे नीचे circle icon है, just click on it and your screenshot is ready. Look at this. Your screenshot is ready. Now you can also click on this keyboard and you will find that my periodic table is, you can type also. Okay, so this is the one of the best features from this. Now ये video हो गया. Okay, now I want to ask them or remember how to remember these elements group wise. Okay, I will show them. I will show them video. I will show them particular periodic table. Now I want how, if they can remember or this periodic tables elements or not. So I just go for further background and my view original, and I just click on blank periodic table. Okay, so yes, this one, and apply for this page. You will find. Now I taught them that is, this is group number 1, this is 2, this is 13, this is 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, and I asked them if what is the first element of the periodic table or 11th number of element of periodic table. Okay,
Ma'am, can you check your volume, please?
Don't remember, we can go backside. Okay, so first group elements are lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and francium. I have one short trick to remember first group of element. Okay, जैसे ली, फिर ना, फिर के, फिर RB, फिर CS, फिर FR. So I taught my students in 10th standard. Just remember लीना की रबड़ी सबसे first class. Now just remember ली, that means lithium, na means sodium, K means potassium, rubdi means rubidium, sabse means cesium, and first class means francium. So you can just choose any way to that remember that particular periodic table. And this is 18th number of group, that is helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, and magnesium. So I taught my students जैसे हीना, नीना और करीना की जेरोक्स रंगीन, ऐसा ऑगी ने कहा. So हीना means helium, नीना means neon, or means argon, Karina means krypton, xenon means xerox, Rn means rangin yani renon, or magnesium means augie. So you can teach them with this way, and you just ask them, just anybody tell me what is that this particular box filled with which element? Anybody tell me?
Lee.
Sir, answer આવે છે?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. Okay. That second number of element वो यहाँ पे आएगा. Which is the second number of element in periodic table? First number is hydrogen. So you can ask your student with this blank format of periodic table. Okay. Now I want some exercise for students. Okay, so for that I taught them about physical properties of elements, etc. Okay, so for that I go further for the background manager. Okay, and I choose this canvas. Yes. Okay, and you can ask them which elements are solid, which elements are liquid, or which elements are gaseous. Okay, so they will answer you. Matlab ke anybody wants to tell which element is solid. Suppose aluminum is solid. Okay, liquid mercury. Okay, wo Hg hydrogenium, which is liquid element, and gaseous oxygen. Okay, you will teach them by adding pictures. So go to that magic box, click on the picture, and just type, suppose aluminium okay, I just type aluminium, and I will find this image. Just select particular one image and drag and drop it that particular box. Okay, so you can minimize it and put it here. Okay, same way you can find the image of mercury, you can find the image of oxygen. Okay, this is the another way to make your presentation or your way of teaching interesting. And just believe me कि आपको कहीं और जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. You need not to go anywhere. MyViewBoard give whole package. Means whenever I in lockdown period, whenever I prepare any note, okay, whether it is in document or slide, I go for Google and this is find the image and use them, and it took so many hours for preparing my presentation. And today within 1.5 hours I could prepare my presentation for this session. So this is the one of the best thing, I think. And now I want to teach them about chemical properties of any element or compound. Okay, so for that again I will go for science and select ye jo this canvas, ready-made canvas are very helpful for presenting your content. Okay, everything will be there, whatever you need. Okay, so I just click on this, okay, and this. Now I want to need the pH value of that particular compound. Okay, so I taught the students that below the 7 that compound is acidic, or above the 7 that is alkaline compound, or at 7 that compound is neutral. Okay, so I want I taught them and then asked about give me examples of a particular acidic compound or alkaline compound. Okay, so for that I add square on that particular name. Okay, and I would ask them give one name of compound which is acidic in nature. Suppose they will tell us that acetic acid or vinegar or citric acid, or I can ask them about neutral, that is water, and alkaline, that is sodium hydroxide. So this is the we can teach them with chemical properties of element also. And then if you want to ask any question or you want to ready any quiz, okay, so go to the magic box and click on quiz, and you can see here these multiple options are popped up, and multiple choice question, there is true or false, there is rating, free format voting, and random draw. Okay, so some of my question I already made. So first question I will like to play: metals are always electron dash losser, gainer, maybe both, or can't say. What is the true answer? So definition of metal, according to their chemical properties, they are electron losser. So first one is first option is correct. Same way you can ask your students true or false: sodium is a soft and highly reactive metal, true or false? So answer is true. So you can make this quiz also. Okay, and now I want this my whole presentation to save anywhere. Okay, so I just click on save option and my presentation is saved. Already it is ready-made presentation. I have already made and save it. So you can this, and I, okay, you can see here classification of element .olf, and yes, save. Do you want to outright? No. So this is the what I want to teach about chemistry portion, and then I want to show you in few minutes about biology. Okay, because there is a human body type of subject. So human body is made up of cells. Okay, so I want to teach from the basic what is cell and etc. And for that I have document ready in my PC. Okay, so I click on document. Click on downloads, and this is my document, that is cell and cell organelle. I just drag it here, and it will take few seconds to download it. And okay, you can that drag and drop. Okay, you can see, look. Okay, ये drag and drop activity है. So you will take from your computer or from your drive that particular portion also to your canvas. Okay, so this will also we can do in this canvas. So you can rotate it or XYZ, you can do anything with this. So this is my part of explanation, and it is okay. Okay, now it comes here. Okay, I just select this particular sheet and import as portrait. Okay, and you will find my content is already on this page. Okay, so this is index and this is organelle. I want to show you something very, very, very important. Okay, now I want to crop or take a screenshot for I want to crop this particular area, and you can crop it very well.
Thank you, Deepti ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing the insight how biology and chemistry sessions could be really interesting. And ma'am has helped us out to know the numerous tools that we have on MyViewBoard and how the teachers can create content. And ma'am also showed us an amazing tool that is how to take assessments. Right, as teachers, we are always in that dilemma, if it is an online session, if my learners are listening to me or not. So I have an option of taking prop questions, quick questions. I can have quick questions in between the sessions, or as an assessment to know how the session has been. They can quickly answer 4 or 5 questions that, like ma'am has had 2 questions. So as a teacher, I could have already drafted few questions, and the beauty of this tool is I do not have to take those assessments again, be it subjective or MCQ questions. Whatever answers have been punched in by my students, I have an option to export all of them to my system. So I'm already ready with it. The system will help me to evaluate the answers. So as a teacher, I think gone are the days when we used to sit with those red pens and mark it all night. So I think technology has made it a little easy for all of us. So big thanks to Deepti ma'am and Reshma ma'am for telling us how maths and science could be really interactive and engaging using technology like MyViewBoard. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amika. This is really indeed a wonderful gesture from ViewSonic. And I would just say that it was nice to give away these freebies to the educators who have attended this session. I would definitely give it a call to all the educators who have attended this session. Just please try it out once. This is really a wonderful tool, and you're being given all the premium features to try it out. So that it's kind of a beta testing. You can just say that if you are unable to use it, if you've got any issues using that tool, you can just get back to ViewSonic, and they will also help you use that tool in a proper manner. So a lot of things to try out. And believe me, when we just saw this amazing tool, MyViewBoard, we just thought, oh, God, this got so much of features inside it, and this is really worth for a virtual classroom. So go ahead, try it out, explore this tool. Our effort here was to just introduce this tool and just to show you how this tool can be used in your classroom. So a demo for the subject of math and science was arranged. So thanks to Reshma as well as Deepti ma'am for showing us how we can use in this particular subject. And much thanks to the activity, the engagement activity, the warm-up exercise. We enjoyed it very well.
Absolutely. The Google Educator group community is amazing, and we always try to bring in something exciting, which we try it out and we feel that more educators will like it. And thanks to Hemika for giving us, showing us this platform and giving a freebie to all our educators who joined.
Pleasure, ma'am. A pleasure.
So I would also request everyone, just like Vishal sir said, that do give it a try. I loved all that magic box features, which is a premium feature. So you will enjoy using it and try out different ways. And I would say Hemika and her team is really helpful. They just helped me set it up on a phone call one day. So thank you so much, Hemika, for bringing this to our GEG community.
Thank you, ma'am. It was indeed a pleasure to connect with you all. Thank you so much. Looking forward for more interesting learning from all the educators out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you one and
Thank
all.
you.
And we just conclude the session this way. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
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 See you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.